I'm gonna get me a camera one of these good old days. I'm gonna give you all some time to come in, but I'm gonna get me a good old camera because my phone, I think my phone sometimes get hot. And as soon as I go to get into the meat of my messages, it just kicked me out. And I need to clear my phone space. That's what I need to do. I need to clear my phone space. But y'all come on in. Come on in. I'm so sorry. YouTube kicked me out. Yes, we're back, Tyrenia. I'm sorry about that. I was about to wrap it up, but still, I want to finish. Give people some time to come in. But I don't know why it kicks me out. I don't know why it kicks me out. But yes, I was talking about, hey, Jacqueline. But I was talking about, that's why in relationships, that's why some of you all couldn't get any rest. It was like you were toiling. Like, relationships are not going to be perfect. We all know that. We all know they're not going to be perfect, but there shouldn't be a toil. Like you're just toiling and toiling in the relationship. Like, you shouldn't have to suffer. Right? You shouldn't have to suffer being emotionally and physically and mentally abused just to be loved. Just to try to get some love or attention from someone. No, that's not normal. People who usually find themselves in that situation do it because they are not healed within themselves. They don't know who they are. They don't know who they are. And a lot of people have been awakened in these toxic relationships. They're trying to throw their pearls to swine. You can't make a woman love you. You can't make a man love you. You can't make anyone respect you, be loyal and faithful. You can't make them. That's something they have to want to do. And oftentimes, some people get so caught up in doing all these tricks and trades. It's like you're almost trying to do more to make that person love you and see that you want to be there. It's like you're a little dog out in the field with the ball doing all type of back tricks for a treat. Yes, it's like that's not how it should be. That's not healthy. That's not healthy. Feel like you got to do all these tricks. You got to do more. You got to give more of yourself. You're throwing your pearls to swine. You're just giving. And some of you all are left with nothing. You are left with nothing because you feel like you gave so much of yourself to a person who went and dismissed it as if you didn't give them nothing. As if you didn't do nothing, anything for them, anything for that relationship, anything to, benefit the family and the growth of the family. Yes, some of y'all, yes. Yes, it did. Y'all don't threw y'all pearls to swine and folks don't trample all over it. Don't care nothing about that. But God don't worry about it because God is waking folks up. He's providing a way. It's like the children being held in bondage in Egypt. I don't know where this came from. It just came. And some of y'all just feel like y'all been in bondage in Egypt. And somebody got to come lead y'all out of captivity. Some of y'all got to lead y'all. Somebody got to lead you guys out of captivity. You don't know where you're going to get your next meal from. God got to provide manna for some of you all to get out these broke, busted, and disgusted situationships. These unfruitful, ungodly, ain't going nowhere relationships and marriages. You don't held on. You don't did all you could do. And no, I'm not telling you to leave your spouse. This is not that message. I'm one of them type of people. I'm not against marriage because I know God honors it. I'm not against it. It never will be. But what I will speak is the truth. And what I will speak is a lot of us got into situations that we know wasn't built on godly principles. It wasn't built on godly principles. Half of that stuff was built on lust and fornication. Y'all didn't wait. Even if you did have premarital sex, even if you did have it, both of you guys didn't submit and repent to God and ask for forgiveness. Y'all didn't do that. Y'all went on as if it was normal. Y'all didn't submit that fornication, that lust to God. Y'all didn't do that. Tell the truth, shame the devil. Tell the truth. But what I will speak on is, we know a lot of us didn't get into it under the right, mindset, under the right agreement. No, we didn't. We didn't get into it. And one thing about it, when you don't go into things with the right mindset and the right will and the right, just the right and the right spirit. That's what I look for, the right spirit. You'll have some good days, but you best believe the bad days are going to outweigh the good days. Oh, that bad is going to outweigh the good. Exactly. Tell the truth, shame the devil, Joanne. Exactly. I think that's a Southern thing, an old Southern thing. But that the good, the bad is going to outweigh all the good. Some of you all, if you make a list right now and you write one side all the good, what's going on in the relationship, and one side with all the bad, I guarantee on some of you all that bad gonna run well past the good. It's gonna run well past. That's why you don't have any peace. You're throwing your pearls to swine. Some of you all are in relationships with your ops, what they call your enemy. And you in that relationship with the enemy because you could never come to an agreement. Y'all could never get on one accord. Where there is two visions, you're going to find division. And to be honest, if the man don't have the vision to be right, exactly, it is, Jason. It is. It is. It's hard to find because everybody have their definition of what it is, and it's not that. Wherever you find two visions, like they said, you will find division. You're throwing your pearls to swine. Yes, you are. You're with your ops because there is no unity. You're just paying bills, making sure bills get paid. There is no love. There is no unity. There is no communication. That person doing their own thing, you doing your own thing. See, a lot of these people in relationships, they like the look and the image of a marriage. They like what it represents, but they don't want to put in the work. They don't honor it. They don't honor it. They don't want to learn to honor it because, to be honest, a lot of us didn't know what honor was. in a marriage, because half of us didn't see a good example. That's why you need God to help you, to show you. But you're always at odds. Could never be on one accord. There is no vision. Like, according to the word, the man's supposed to have the vision. No vision. And sometimes a lot of you all get married too young anyways, where you don't really know yourself and you get into a relationship thinking somebody's going to complete you. No. And sometimes that's a good or a bad thing. It all depends. Because there's no perfect way, but you just have to have two willing people who are willing to grow together. Submit their relationship to God and grow together. But some of y'all with y'all ops, they jealous of you. There's either or. This ain't got nothing to do with man or, I'm not saying a man because I'm a woman. And I'm not saying, this is either or. You will know if it's for you. Jealous of your own spouse and their accomplishments. You have no support. Like, you don't want the person to buy into your dream because it's yours, but to support your vision. You don't have that because you're with your ops. You're with your enemy. Enemies are usually jealous of the light that God has in you. And their mission, when you married to your enemy, their mission is to tear down your character, tear down your self-esteem. If you're with a person, they're not edifying you, you feel weighted. Every time you're around them, you're with them, you feel like there's a noose, so to speak, around your spirit. There's a heaviness. Oh, you best believe that person is coming with some warfare and wrath. And you think it's the enemy. Yeah, you sleeping with them. Or her. Or them. Sleeping with them. Yes, you are. Where, you can never talk about things and get through things, right? I remember there was this person who say that, their spouse tend to bring up, whenever they're trying to address something, their spouse tend to bring up something they've done in their past when they're trying to talk about something that is going on at this moment. So therefore, you're dealing with the person with unforgiveness, and they want to hold you to a standard that they don't hold themselves. They want you to be the one to do all the forgiving. Why they get off scot-free, what they say. You don't want to be with somebody who's immature in spirit. Jealous of you. Don't support you. Let people mistreat you and speak ill against you. No person I would be able to trust if you coming to me and you talk about your spouse as if your spouse is another person, like a stranger. There is no way you can do that with me. And I trust you? No. Nope. No one should be comfortable with you talking about your spouse. If they have so much of a problem with their spouse, why they don't go talk to their spouse about it? Ask them, did they do counseling or anything? Like, people are so... See, people know not to come to me with that. Because I'm going to say, have y'all discussed this issue? Y'all need to go to counseling. Go to some spiritual person. I'm not going to let you talk about your spouse to me because, one, I don't want to get in it. Okay? It's different if you venting, but just to be talking about your spouse, talking about she this, he that, they this, no. Because 9 times out of 10, a person who is talking about their spouse to someone else, that person cannot be trusted. That's 9 times out of 10. They're not talking to a trusted person. They're not going to give them godly wisdom and advice on how to resolve the issue. They're not going to give them godly wisdom. Because one thing about, I know with people, even if you're trying to work and do right in your marriage or relationship, you got people that are waiting for that relationship to fail. Because it's going to give them joy. And some of you all are holding on because you know people want you to fail and you don't want to look like a failure. But you knew it was a failure from the beginning. You know it had already failed. You just don't want to let go. And it's okay because you got to look at what you learned. The lessons you've learned. Some of y'all don't even want to get married again. I don't believe that. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. I never speak that over my life. Ever. Because I understand God's will and his way for those who desire to be married. Now you got lessons that you've learned. You've got lessons. But when you throw your pearls to swine, you get yourself caught up in the pickle, what they would say. You get yourself caught up in situations where you're always running to try to prove yourself. You're trying to prove a point. You're trying to be accepted, be received, and all that. No. You're throwing your pearls to swine. You're throwing your pearls to swine. You know when the person has value. You know it. And I'm not the one that want to sit here and talk from this place of perfection. Y'all know I don't have any, I don't hold back anything. I tell y'all my story. I tell y'all my story. Excuse me. Hold on. Exactly, Jason. And that's why you shouldn't listen. And it's for somebody. That's why you shouldn't because I know there's a lot of foolishness going on the internet. This is one reason you should not give up, or you shouldn't close the door to marriage, to relationships, because one is God's will for those who desire it. Now, if you close the door, that's just you close the door. Can't do anything about that. You have free will. But you got to remember the lessons you've learned from being in the relationship before, right? The healing and the work that you do, you will be able to make better decisions, make better choices. You're wiser, you're mature, you know who you are. So don't miss out on a good person because you've been hurt in your past, and you've been hurt because you got into a place in a relationship or a marriage from a place of hurt. No, you want to do the work. You want to heal. You want to do the inner work. So the next time around will be a God time around. Now you know what you don't want. Now you know the mistakes you made in the past. Now you can see from a clear and the healed lens. Now you can date and court. And you can date with the purpose or court with the purpose. And dating don't mean that you got to jump in the bed with everybody. No. You'll be able to find people who are on the same level spiritually as you. Now that you understand who you are, what you're looking for. You're mature. You grown now. You grown. Hopefully, if you healed and, you did the work. Now you know, okay, this won't work. That won't work. If you're dating just to be dating, or if you're dating for marriage, you will know what you want now. You know what you know what you're looking for. It won't be off of your emotions and your lust and feelings and all that. Now you're wiser. Healed. You're healed. You know what you're looking for. You know what you don't want. And you don't think this time going to be better than before? You got to change your perspective. Change your perspective. Now the person get the healed version of you. Your new partner will be able to get the healed, more mature version, if that's what you want. Or you just may want to be healed and happy for yourself and serve the Lord. That's fine. That's fine. Now too, Jacqueline, we know how to listen to our spirits and not our flesh. Because if you listen to the spirit 100% of the time, you'll be able to know who's for you 100% of the time. You date with your spirit and not with your flesh. You'll know who's equally yoked with you, or, possibly could be something, whatever it is you're looking for. But anyways, I just wanted to come tell you all, don't stop throwing your pearls to swine. Stop trying to make people see you have value. You have to know who you are, because people who know they are valuable, they're not out here saying they're valuable. They're not out here selling themselves, saying what they bring to the table. They don't have to do all that. My grandmother always told me, a person who got to say to trust them are the ones you don't trust. Them the ones you don't trust. When you hear a person say, trust me, and they keep saying, trust me, you got to watch that action. Let them prove to you that they can be trusted. Let them prove in their behavior that they can be trusted. Because see, the enemy is still working, doing the same thing he did from the beginning of time. He using words against us, telling us things we want to hear. And if you don't know who you are, and a person telling you, baby, you look good, and this and that, and you fine, and all that stuff, that's surface stuff. That ain't nothing of substance. Nothing of substance. Nothing of substance. Yes, Jacqueline, when you know from when you know it's from God, you'll know it. You will, but you have to be in that space. You have to be in that space, because that's just like in a relationship. If you're not in that space to where you're in tune and you're healed, you're going to make decisions out of your flesh, out of your lustful desires. And we all know lust don't last long. Lust does not last long. It don't. It's fleeting, comes and goes. Comes and goes. And if people don't contain and manage their lust, they're going to miss out on some good relationships, some good people, because they can't control their lustful desires. Good relationships are destroyed because people can't control their lust. Over one little hot little fling, you don't gave up, you don't messed up your family, gave up your house, over one little fling, people just give up so many things. Out of selfishness. Out of their selfish desires. When people are selfish and lustful, they don't think about anybody else but their selfish and lustful desires. Exactly. Yeah, Jason, that too. But you learn. And I'm not saying, and see, what I'm not saying is people are supposed to be perfect. No. Because we all come from, if being brought up in these United States of Americas, or being brought up in this world, and these families that have been here in these Americas and the Caribbeans too. I hear a lot of people talk about how strict their parents were, like parenting and being strict and stuff. A lot of that, how we were brought up, it takes a toll on you. A lot of people were abused and hurt and beaten and stuff. So you're going to go into a relationship with all of that you have to unpack. It's good to do the work before, but sometimes you'll get into it because that's how God designed it to be. That's how he designed it to be sometimes. But we all got some issues. We're not going to be perfect. We all got some type of issue going on. But the point is just to be mature about it. It sometimes it's good to just grow up and be mature about your situation. You can't stay in your teens forever. If you with someone and they made a mistake in their teen years in y'all relationship or young adult years, and you still holding that against them, that means you haven't really grown up. Or if you know you couldn't handle whatever it is they did to you, you should have been mature at that time. You should have been mature at that time and walked away. Don't wait till y'all get almost checked up out of here. Y'all in your 60s and 70s, 50s, and then they bring up something you don't did when y'all were 20 years old. Some people will not be held accountable for their actions. They will not be held accountable for the choices they made without trying to make you the blame for the choices they made 30 years ago. This is where healing comes in. This is where people got to heal and do the work. That's why you got to do the work. Like, times are different now. Times are different. People are not staying in relationships like they used to. They got too many options and too many outs. So it's best to just do good and treat people right. Treat your spouse right. If you don't want to be there, just leave. Treat your girlfriend right. Your significant other, whoever. Why you can't be mature enough to say, you know what, I don't want to be here anymore. I love you, but I just don't feel like we go in the same direction, or, you know, I want to see somebody else, or somebody else I'm interested. Just say that. But see, what people do, what I said in the first video, they like to look. Exactly, Taisha. And unfortunately, sometimes people don't get to that point until they're in their 40s, late 30s, 40s. It depends. You got to do that work on yourself. Just be honest and say that. Like, don't be with someone and you know you're not going to be faithful to them. You don't want to be there. You're slandering them. You know, some people in relationships, they spouse just straight up slander them. Talk about them like they're not even married. How could you have the gut? My thing is, how could you say you want to be with somebody and love somebody? Or you even I couldn't even do that. I couldn't go home to a person where I knew I don't slander them to my family, to my friends, to my coworkers. That energy will exude off of me because I don't know how to lie like that. I don't know how to be fake. Because, you know, you got a lot of fake people in this world. They'll be telling you they love you one minute and behind your back slandering you like a dog, talking about you. Like, they don't even know you. I can't do that. I'm not built that way. I'm a truthful person. I'm truthful. If I don't like you, I don't like you. I'm not going to fake the funk. You know, I'm not going to. But you got to do something to me, right? You got to do something to me for me not to like you. Now, I don't just be not liking folks. Unless my spirit, now, I ain't going to lie. Now, my spirit be red flagging, I'm going to be cordial. But I'm not going to, I'm not going to be trying to pull all up on you. No, I'm going to be cordial. And I'm going to listen to my spirit. Yes, Keisha, with no remorse, honey. None. I know whenever I did bad, I felt awful. Every time that I could remember. God is my witness. As I'm on this line. Everything that I've done. This is how I know I not to do it again. Everything that I have done. It is exactly, Jason. And that's the thing. The prideful can't humiliate themselves. They can't humble themselves, not humiliate. The prideful can't humble themselves. They'll never be able to. Too prideful. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all this on the record. Everything that I've ever done that I could remember in my head, that I've done, that I knew, sometimes that I knew was wrong, and sometimes I didn't know it was wrong. I was remorseful. I felt the worst. Chosen ones, you know, we feel the worst. When we do stuff, we can't act as if we didn't do it. We're going to either